CP3 becomes number 3 in a trio that surely takes the Lakers to the top of the championship tree as the new odds-on favorites to lift the trophy for a second time in 3 years. Before we get into the video, if you want to win a PS5 with NBA 2K21 and Madden NFL 21 included, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. Now that the dust has settled on a disappointing end to the NBA Finals for Chris Paul, it's easy to forget that CP3 overachieved with the Phoenix Suns. After blowing a 2-0 lead in the finals to lose 4 straight games to the eventual winners, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Suns and Paul can feel hard done by. However, Paul is now finally a conference champion, and we shouldn't lose sight of how he got there. A regular season that boasted the second-best record in the NBA with just 1 win behind Utah saw Chris Paul average a steady 16.4 points per game and a solid 8.9 assists per game. But what's more notable is the impressive leadership skills he showed with such a young team. Center DeAndre Ayton emerged as a result and upped his productivity in the process with a better field goal percentage. Despite some saying his inexperience came into play in the last couple of games of the finals, he's still only 23, which bodes well for the future. Dynamite three-point shooter Devin Booker was always scoring, so it would be hard to convince anyone that it was CP3 who helped improve that side of his game. However, this is Booker's first playoff appearance, and there's no doubt Chris Paul helped get the best out of him as Booker averaged 27.3 points per game, higher than any of his regular season averages. Paul's exemplary guidance took an okay OKC team to the playoffs last year, and the Phoenix Suns to their first finals in nearly 30 years. He's grown into a player that has felt the need to look out for others, and this was again exhibited during the pandemic when he took on the role of the players' president. But at his age, it's time to be selfish, and the crux of the matter is that Paul wants a ring. And there's one place he's most likely to get it: LeBron's team. The reason why the Lakers are linked to so many superstars is not just because they're the Lakers. It's because LeBron James is the epitome of someone who can get you to the finals. He's been involved in 9 of the last 11 finals. A veteran like CP3 knows it's time to force a chip. He's proved himself beyond reasonable doubt as a talent, a leader, and a player who has the stamina to do a playoff run this late in his career. LeBron would be happy to bring him in for much-needed experience at the point guard position, just like he did with Rajon Rondo in the Lakers' championship-winning year. Let's not forget these two are friends either. In fact, they're best friends. They played AAU basketball against each other and both represented the USA in the 2008 Olympic gold-winning team. James was even a groomsman at Chris Paul's wedding, and to go even further, they are each other's godparents to their kids. During this year's finals, James regularly showed his open support for CP3 in regular tweets and on Jimmy Kimmel Live. James is quoted as saying, "I have a horse in the race and he goes by the name of Chris Paul, so I've been watching. That is my brother, and we've known each other since my junior year in high school, his sophomore year. We actually met for the first time when we were in 9th grade. We played for the same AAU National Basketball Tournament in Orlando, Florida, and then we officially met my junior year, his sophomore year. We've been friends ever since." Later in the same interview, he was asked whether he could see the CP3 trade still happening and would he like it to happen. LeBron was coy in his response and simply laughed. But the devil is in the detail, as there is a clear indication that this is at least something on the table. And if LeBron had his pick right now, wouldn't he choose one of the most effective point guards in the league? Someone who can also galvanize a team in moments of doubt or injury? Chris Paul's excellence does not only appear on the court, but off the court too. In the opening 2 games of the conference finals, Paul missed out due to COVID protocol. But after the Suns' Game 1 win against the Clippers, where was Paul afterwards? Immediately on the phone to Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. A sign of a true leader, as Booker has been adamant throughout the year that CP3 has helped him as much off the court as on. Even the locker room celebrations after the first round win over the Lakers showed the unity Chris Paul had created amongst the players right through to the coach, Monty Williams. His influence is felt on and off the court, and that's why he's the perfect fit for the Lakers. LeBron got the best out of players such as Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma, and KCP, but he seems to have lost that battle this year with the role players' production dropping. Kuzma's field goal percentage jumped off a cliff from 43% in the 2020 playoffs to a messy 29.2%. His three-point percentage also dropped from 31.3% to this year's abysmal 17.4%. KCP's playoff points per game, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage all dropped this year too. A player who could no doubt benefit from CP3's leadership is Dennis Schroeder, whose poor playoffs didn't exactly help LeBron either. Chris Paul could be the new glue to LeBron's jigsaw, and with AD in and out of injury trouble, an extra pair of hands is absolutely welcome. The experience of CP3 is another string in his bow, as Paul at 36 is an 11-time All-Star, a 4-time All-NBA first team, and has been in the playoffs every year for the last 11 years. That's one more than LeBron, by the way. If you want playoff experience at the point guard position, it would be foolish to rule out the vet who's recently built a better diet in order to elongate his career. That's right, after becoming vegan in 2019, Paul has improved his stats significantly and is clearly in good operation. It's a side note that shows the positive effects his changes to his game are having. The man with the plan just needs one final push to get over that hump and take home the ring he truly deserves. Now, in order for this deal to work, Chris Paul firstly has to decline his player option, which is estimated to be in the region of $44.2 million. With cap issues, the Lakers are going to have to work something out and potentially massage a deal that works out for everyone. It seems Schroeder has turned down a 4-year extension, which opens the door at the point guard position. Caruso's situation is interesting too, considering he'll be an unrestricted free agent this summer, and it looks like lots of suitors will be shaping up to nab him. The reality of this trade involves a likely move of Schroeder heading to the Suns, but that's dependent on whether or not he agrees. Talen Horton-Tucker's name has been thrown into the mix too, but at only 20 years old, he's emerging as a relatively influential role player. He could well be used as a future piece or just improve on his already impressive field goal percentage, which last season sat at 45.8%. The Lakers won't be shy of sending off the future for right now. They've been doing it for years. Now let's point out the obvious. The Lakers have tried to get him before. Yes, this was 10 years ago, but you can't help feeling there's some unfinished business, in every sense of the word. In 2011, the Lakers actually agreed to terms to take Chris Paul off New Orleans in a 3-team trade. The NBA commissioner stepped in for the first time in history and simply voided the deal. The reasons he gave for this were because he thought New Orleans were better off keeping him. A very unusual outcome for not much of an excuse. Instead, he ended up at the Clippers, much to the surprise of Kobe Bryant. Since then, CP3 has been linked with a trade to the Lakers on numerous occasions, and now at 36 years old, the rumors appear to be at their height. One thing is for sure. If he goes to the Lakers, they'll have incredible versatility. Chris Paul and LeBron James will complement each other well enough to take some weight off of each other's shoulders. The search for a point guard is clearly a priority for the Lakers, and CP3 fits the profile. Following Rajon Rondo's departure, they've been linked with Kyle Lowry, Russell Westbrook, and even Patty Mills has also suddenly entered the conversation. The Spurs vet has experience in a championship-winning side and has recently hit form with some incredible performances for Australia in the build-up to the Olympics in Tokyo. In an exhibition match, Mills stunned the USA with 22 points in a low-scoring game. He pulled off some incredible clutch shots to close out the game. And with the new season nearing, he might just have put himself in the shop window. But the question we always end up going back to when speaking on these trades is, who would you rather have? A Russell Westbrook who hasn't been deep in the playoffs for years? A Kyle Lowry who's coming off a confidence-shattering season where Toronto failed to make the playoffs for the first time since 2013? A Patty Mills who, let's face it, has probably reached his ceiling? Or a Chris Paul who appears to age like a fine wine and has proven not only time and time again that he's the go-to guy when facing adversity, but that he's still doing it today. His playoff run to the finals this year was awe-inspiring for a number of reasons, but if we had to single out one, it would probably be his mental toughness. The man was cast out by the Houston Rockets after 2 seasons failing to make the NBA Finals, one of which involved a painstaking hamstring injury, which could very well have been the reason Houston didn't end up beating Golden State in the 2018 Western Conference Finals. He was then pushed on to the Oklahoma City Thunder in a switch for bad boy Russell Westbrook. Paul made the best of a bad situation, taking OKC surprisingly all the way to the playoffs. And then this year, his memorable run with the Suns. The fortitude this man has shown is clearly that of an old pro showing some style and not taking no for an answer. Bottom line is, Paul deserves the opportunity to let someone else take part of the burden. And with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, that shouldn't be a problem. Furthermore, those two need it too. It's a win-win for everybody except Phoenix, but they may have got the best they could from this particular team with the luck they were given. CP3 will get his ring if he goes to the Lakers, and he knows it. The real question is, will someone come in and foil the trade much like the NBA did the first time around? Do you think Chris Paul is off to the Lakers? Comment below to let us know your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe for more. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another one of our videos. We'll see you next time, Latest Hoops fans. Until then, keep shooting your shot.